Yeah, just hop in. Hopefully we finish the case today. If we don't, then we'll probably finish it and then go straight into case 4 next stream, but I'd like to finish today. Right, anything agency. Hey, Apollo! What? Well, actually, nothing. I mean, something. Or maybe not. Out with it. The suspense is giving me an ulcer. Well, the trial today? I was thinking... If you gave it a score, what score would you give it? Score? Guess I would, maybe, well... I'm just as bad as you. See? It's so vague. Clearly. Machi avoided a guilty verdict, which is something. Though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case. I asked Interpol about the number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Roman Latouche. And the victim, Mr. Latouche. Who would have guessed that he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess. And we don't have any idea of what he was investigating. Well, true, but we know who shot him now. Lemire told the whole court. Wait, that voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshot fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien. It's another mystery, Apollo. I love mysteries. I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around. Is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out at will? I wouldn't say that, but he has been going out a lot. Some top secret mission, he said. Top secret? Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. You've got me to help you. We'll be fine. Fine, right. Well, time's a-wasting, as they say. Let's investigate. That's the spirit. I guess talk to Trucy. Lemire dropped a bomb in court today. It was Darien? It was Darien. Lemire said she's never forgotten a voice, right? That's so cool. I guess. What's that called again? Elephant ears? I bet that's what they're called. Somehow I don't think that means what you think it means. And she has to be wrong this time. Wrong? Why? I mean, look. The gunshots were right during the concert. That's right. I was burning up the dance floor at the time. Right. Did you happen to look up on stage? Maybe at Darien, even? You bet I did. He's one of the Gaviniers' guitarists, after all. He's so cool. Oh. Right. All the Gaviniers have a rock-solid alibi. He couldn't have shot Mr. Latouche backstage. But Lemire heard him, didn't she? She heard Darien backstage, right? Somebody's either wrong or lying very badly here. An Interpol agent, huh? I was wondering, what is Interpol anyway? Huh? Interpol? They're the guys who catch international criminals. Why can't they just call them international police instead of making up silly names? Yeah. Anyway, you think he was investigating Lemire? What? Why would anyone do that? She's not a criminal. She couldn't be. Don't be fooled by appearances is all I'm saying. But remember, I'm a magician, Apollo. I can spot a palmed coin at 50 paces. If only it were that easy. In any case, we know he was working on something. I wonder if it was something that has something to do with something, or that something being our case? The last something, I mean. Something like that. Frankly, the whole thing is making my head hurt. What was Mr. Latouche up to? Trucy, was that another one of your tricks? Wasn't me. I can't even make Mr. Half laugh like that.
Wherever the mundane gives way to miracles, a world whispered, Gramier.
Hey, the other day. Eee! Who's there? We didn't just imagine that, did we? He was wearing a silk hat. A friend of yours? Hardly.
We meet again.
Nice to meet you. Who are you? And could you please stop smoking like that? It's you, Uncle Valent! Uncle Valent? He's your uncle? No, silly. It's the great Gramarye, Valiant Gramarye. The great magician.
Yes, it is I, the great Valiant Gramarye, as seen on television.
And could you please stop smoking like that?
It's been a while, Miss Trucy. 7 years, to be exact. My, how you've grown.
Good to see you again, Uncle Valent. You look exactly the same. I'd hate to intrude, but what is a great magician doing paying us a visit?
I believe it was you who wished to see me. So be quick with your questions. And do not quail, quake, or quiver. I am quite tame. Though my stardom may sear the sight, I am quite down to earth when need calls.
He does have a certain aura to him, it's true. Let's ask him about the case, Apollo. His aura sure isn't lost on a magician in the making. He's practically drooling with enthusiasm. After all, Uncle Valent's one of Daddy's best friends. That's why I call him Uncle. What? Daddy, you mean Mr. Right? No, I mean... my real daddy. Trucy's real father? Troop Gramarye. Wait, Apollo? Don't tell me you don't know about the Troop Gramarye. Troop Gram... no. But it does sound kind of familiar.
Oh, lost life, lamentable listless lad! Do not know of the greatest troop of magicians on the planet!
The Valiant Gramarye. The name began to surface in my mind. It was a name I'd heard on television as a child. You bet you've heard of the name. He made a cruise ship disappear and blew up an amusement park. Oh, and he made all this gold disappear from a safe. And then he escaped from a high-security prison. You said he's a magician?
I open the locks to hearts chained by mediocrity. This is a true miracle of the Troop Gramarye.
Wait. What, Apollo? I do remember seeing you on television. A long time ago. Weren't you with someone else? Like a duo? A duo? Yeah, you had a partner? Something Gramarye...
Yes, Zack Gramarye. A masterful maker of magic. A capable crafter of shining showmanship.
Why is everyone so quiet? Daddy. Oh, no way.
Once upon a time, Troop Gramarye included 2 grand magicians. Myself, Valiant Gramarye, and my partner, Zack Gramarye.
And this Zack he was my real daddy. Trucy's father a magician? I guess it makes sense. I had no idea. There wasn't much point in talking about it. Not now that he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm not lonely. I've got my daddy after all. And you make me laugh, Apollo. Glad I'm good for comic relief, at least. Not that I see Daddy around much these days.
Look, I've been remiss in remembering my reasons for visiting.
Reasons?
2, in fact. The first being, of course, to see you, Miss Trucy.
You don't know how happy I am to see you again, Uncle Valance.
I'm sure you are.
Not one for modesty, are you?
When I encountered you at the Colosseum, my first time in 7 years, I could fain not contain my emotions. I wept oceans. And to learn you now defend the poor pianist. Oh, that blinded boy. 'Twas a hot topic of talk amongst the staff, you know. And defend him you did.
Well, it wasn't all my doing. I'm his defense attorney, actually.
My other reason for coming here today was this.
That's a videotape?
Quite so. A recording of the concert, no less. I've brought it to you, Juicy, on behalf of Troop Gramarye. Will you watch it?
Sugar, sugar. Oh, that night in your embrace. With the power of the Nintendo DS, stole away the keys my heart held on to so tight. Pleasure, but a fleeting melody. It wraps itself around me, and now through the air I fly. Whoa. Whoa. Burning on in my heart, fire. Burning my love away.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Like a bullet of love. Fire. Take my life away. All away. Guitar, guitar. Up together. To the sky.
Oh shit! What the fuck, man? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? My guitar!
Wow, it's almost as good as it was live. So, what's the word? Mysterious? There are more mysterious things than our song going on. Way more mysterious. This valiant Gramarye has good reasons to be here today, but I wonder what his reasons were to be at that concert. Alright. No, not you. I'm gonna pull up the guide. Because I don't like this case. Okay, so I do have to present the videotape. So I was wondering, that stunt in the middle of the song there. I didn't see a stunt. But what about Lumiere vanishing and reappearing? Oh, that? I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen, I didn't even notice. So young to be so jaded.
A simple sleight of hand. A petite prestidigitation. Prestidigitation. A modicum of magic from me to you.
So that's why you were at the concert.
Yes! I was there to watch my trick take to the air.
So you're the one who knows how it was all done.
Of course, I am like a deity, with the stage as my domain. I suffer no mystery upon those flood-lit boards not grasped by twilight twixt my fingers. It is potent primeval power I possess.
Well, do you think you could tell me how it was done? Hey now, you rock star. Juicy? That's like totally against the rules, Apollo. Not doing a murder investigation, it's not.
Mais non, for my illusions are mine alone, monsieur. Also
what?
Recall that terrible occurrence happened later. Well, after my illusion entranced the audience.
Oh.
Don't even ask, I won't answer.
Too bad for you, Apollo. Whose side are you on?
Aye, valiant Gramarye. Now make my leave, Miss Trucy.
There's no need to rush, Uncle Valent. You should stay a while.
I am afraid I cannot. I may not. I shall not. I have been asked to assist with an analysis, and so I shall slink back to the scene.
So, you'll be at the concert venue today?
Correct. If you would call on me, come to the Colosseum. See you later, crocodile.
With a whirl of his cloak and a wink in his eye, he turned and walked out through the door. Normally. Well, there you go, Apollo. Let's get cracking. Right, Valent Gramarye. Got a few more things to ask him. Foremost among them, that bit of magic that made Lemior disappear. And how he knows Trucy and her real father. I think, yeah, detention center. Next. Machi may not be guilty, but he's still a suspect. But they don't have any decisive evidence. Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room. Right, the air vent. And he lied. Lied? Machi Tobayai can see. Machi. Speak of the devil. He looks like he's doing okay. I forgot. Why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him or anything. Words are overrated. Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kinda hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway, might as well get what I want to say off my chest. If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen. I think she's acting worried for me. Trial today. So, what did you think of the trial today? Phew, I'm glad he doesn't understand English, Japanese, after all. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial. Hey, all's well that ends well. You have to be more goal-oriented. If he's innocent, we win. No, if he's found not guilty, we win. Machi might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do. Huh? What the? I'm glad Lemior testified. What a great person. She even got Machi off the hook by naming another suspect. Darian of the Gaviniers, the detective. I wonder if Machi knows what happened. I mean, if he could follow how that trial went at all, if no one told him there's a new suspect, how would he know? What is it, Apollo? No, it's nothing. Mysterious. I must be imagining it. Imagining what, Apollo? It's just, I couldn't help but feel that, I don't know. Machi, he doesn't understand what we're saying, right? How could he? He's a young Borginian. He doesn't speak English, Japanese. Yeah, but my bracelet is reacting to him. Huh? Maybe it's malfunctioning. Or it's scared? Because you kept making those I'm so mad faces. Was I that bad? Machi lied about not being able to see. But what if that's not all he lied about? If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him. I think I'll take something big to get him to some kind of undeniable evidence. I didn't read that right, but whatever. We'll be back, Machi. So, Machi, you can see, right? Machi can see and Lemior can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo, I don't think we can get any information out of Machi. Which makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything here yet. Yeah. Back to the Coliseum I go. Sunshine Coliseum. Sunshine Coliseum, July 9th. Whoa, what a great day! It's perfect weather for sleuthing. The weather matters for an investigation? don't some days just feel like magic days or defense days? Sure. Let's get started, shall we? Right on. Show us your stuff, Apollo. What stuff? Your voice training? This is your perfect place for it. I did enough at home, thanks. Aw, there's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage. I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I am a lawyer. Then you're in luck, because it's a lawyer's weather today. Don't you just want to face the blue sky and shout, "Objection"? Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's get going already. Well, actually, one could say that clear skies are great for investigating because rain washes evidence away. So have some whimsy, Apollo. What the fuck? Ah, Mr. Attorney. Lamure! I'm sorry about today. There was nothing you need to apologize for. You are merely defending Machi. Are you okay? Alone, I mean. Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Even robbed of one, we get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult. Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before you spotted us just now. And we weren't even talking. I heard your footsteps several times the day before. Oh, you must have great ears. Ears that heard the crime taking place. Or so she claimed yesterday, but how? The voice. That was quite a statement you made today in court. About hearing Darian Crescen's voice at the scene of the crime? I did not know his name, but I never forget a voice. Wait!
Lamure, is something the matter?
I think it was... We already flashed back to this chapter.
No way!
As I said in court, I was on my way backstage, from the stage. That is when I heard this voice. His voice. I'm guessing Darian and Mr. Latouze were talking about something. The next moment, I heard those gunshots. Why didn't you call security? To be honest, though, the noise was quite frightening. I never imagined the gunshots might be real. And I was in quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once. So, it was really Darian's voice that she heard? Yeah. At least, she certainly thinks it was. I met Machi before my debut as Lamure. I was singing in a restaurant in Borginia. And he was playing the piano? Yes. He was very kind to me when he learned I could not see. Is that when you started playing opposites? With Machi pretending he couldn't see? No, it wasn't then. That began after our major debut. After I became known as the landscape painter in sound. It must have been tough for Machi, pretending he couldn't see all while acting as your eyes. We held hands anyway, always. We would write with his finger on my palm to signal to me things I should know. He is a smart, gentle boy. I think I see what she's getting at. Machi would never harm a soul. About Mr. Latouze. Yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear. So you had no idea? Of course not. No one did. I guess that's what it means to be undercover. But someone was after him. They had to know who he really was. Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand. You have no idea? I can only assume that he was investigating me. But why? What makes you think that? Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility. Because of my condition. As my present is veiled in darkness, so too is my past clouded from memory. Clouded, right! Darkness, bees! The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart. Oh, in in your heart. I have no memory of the time before I became Lumiore. I awoke from the darkness into the darkness, you might say. I was sightseeing at a restaurant those days. What was it that she said about not being able to remember the light? I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming Lamore is lost to me. But I don't think you... I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me? Do you think your past might be related to the case? No way! That seems really unlikely to me. I mean, you're such a sweet person, Lemior. I thank you, Machi. Machi, too, tells me this often when I fear who I might have been. Alright. Anything else I gotta do here? Present the video top A. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. But I guess it's my new piece of evidence, so it's not that weird. We took a look at your performance again. It was even better the second time. Thank you. That reminds me. What incredible illusion you pulled off. Illusion? When you teleported from one stage to the other, remember? Ah, yes. Apparently they hired a professional magician. Valiant Gramarye. I was wondering, do you think you could tell us how it was done? I'm afraid I cannot. Mr. Gramarye made me swear to never tell a soul. I was afraid of that. Hard to become a magician if you can't keep a secret, you know? I am reminded that I wish to speak to you about something. Yes? When I was walking this hallway before, I stumbled upon a small device of some kind. It was lying on the floor. Device? Maybe you mean this? That's been lying there since the day before yesterday. Might I touch it? I thought as much. What did you think? What did you think? This is one of our headsets. Everyone on staff wears one during a concert. I wonder whose this is. We use it for communication. It would be quite inconvenient should it go missing. We'll hold on to it for you, then. We'll give it to Prosecutor Gavin when we see him. Yes, that's best. Thank you. So can I put it on? Attached? I'm not some kind of robot, Apollo. Everyone... Was there a joke? So, headset attached to Chusey. Headsets, this might warrant some further investigation. Oh, and then present the headset. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. I know that this girl doesn't seem tough, but the voice I'm giving her is very breathy, and I'm running out of oxygen in my lungs. Ugh. It's kind of exhausting. Let's look at it, why not? It's a headset. Okay, looking at that just plays the video. Okay. Can I ask you about this headset, Lemior? You said that all concert staff was wearing one. That's correct. You need them to communicate across such a large stage. Everyone on the staff had one, of course. And of all the band members, too, I should think. So Prosecutor Gavin and his lackeys had them, too, then. They're quite helpful, though limited. They only work within 30 feet or so. After all, they're only for use on stage. And a stronger signal would interfere with the sound system. Huh, that makes sense. You'd think someone would notice if they dropped the only communication lifeline. So why was this one lying here? Alright, then return to the stage. The stage. that song. Isn't that the one Lemior was singing? Yeah, you're right. The Guitar Serenade. Oh, I'd love to do a show on a stage like this. I'd come to see that. The house is full, and as one of the audience sighs with wonderment, there I am, singing my ballad, rose petals swirling through the air. Not bad. Wait, aren't you a magician? Oh! That's right, I was a magician, wasn't I? Some dedication.
Aha! If it isn't Miss Trucy! And indeed it is!
Uncle Valent! What exactly are you doing here?
I take real responsibility in tasks undertaken. I'm inspecting my equipment of illusion and make sure naught is amiss.
The Lemior teleportation illusion. Oh.
Should anything go wrong, it would reflect poorly upon me and my troop. And I went about my exacting examination. I happened to notice the piano. And I remember that fair lady's melancholy melody.
Hey, Apollo, maybe Uncle Valent can shed some light on this whole thing for us. I was wondering about the show the night of the murder. Lemior's Vanishing Act was your illusion, right?
Indeed, we have discussed this multiple times. The Purple Prosecutor pensioned my performance. At the climax of the song, he said, "Make her disappear like a dream."
Like a dream?
Yet, what can I work with on a stage meant for musical endeavors? There are none of the conveniences of a stage built for sorcerous acts. It was a challenging task, and so I accepted. With the power of the Nintendo DS, she disappeared. But in order to move, you would have to have used some sort of secret tunnel. People come to me because I'm a professional in something. My illusions are custom-made for a time and place. Now, because of the murder, all eyes of the nation are on this concert. Not a bad thing as far as the Fortune's troop of Gremory are concerned.
So, you were checking up on your trick to make sure it went well?
And went well it did! Now, speaking of pianos, that piano over there troubles me.
It troubles you? Why?
Why? Why do you ask why?
I think it's probably quicker if I just go check it out myself. Thanks.
I know what you are thinking in that head of yours. Gremory, yes, you say. I recall seeing him on the television. Something of that sort?
Actually, yes, you're right. Wow, he just read your mind, Apollo. Well, everyone tells him that he made a good guess.
It was 20 years ago. A young magician, a genius of his time, came down among us. His name, the Magnifi Gremory. It was he who began the troop Gremory. At his prime, not a day passed that he did not play upon the screens of every TV there was.
I do have a vague memory of someone like that on TV.
Yet several years ago, that time came to an end. My troop pulled a vanishing act, yes. Crimes for magic no longer heard. The TV screen a barren waste, stripped of illusion.
That's not true. I still went to all of your shows. Like that one in the parking lot down at the supermarket. When you start playing in supermarket parking lots, you know you're in trouble.
We hone our skills at these small venues, always awaiting our time. Yes, one day we will rise from its obscurity onto fame's shining stage once more. I do this not only for the magic that is Gremory, but for my partner.
Your partner? You mean...
Yes, Zack Gremory.
Trucy's father.
Before he disappeared 7 years ago, there was no name higher than Gremory in show business circles. None. I will see us return to glory. I, Valent Gremory. Our founder, Magnifi Gremory, was truly a genius, a worker of miracles.
I will never forget the one I saw when I was little. how he made that whole jumbo jet go. What happened to the jet again? Apparently someone doesn't remember it as well as they thought.
Of all the would-be magicians who came to his door, only Zack and I had the talent. In no time at all, Valent and Zack were the shining stars in the Gramarye crown.
Cool, huh? And Zack Gramarye was my daddy.
Now that Magnify and Zack are gone, I have but one wish. Let it be I, Valiant Gramarye, who brings the Gramarye miracle back to the big stage.
I'm rooting for you.
Miss Juicy, you cannot grow up quick enough. I need your skill by my side.
One skill coming up. How do we manage to get off the topic of the case so quickly all the time? Piano. That's one big piano. I've never actually played one. You should get Mr. Right to teach you sometime. No good, he can't play either. I kinda feel bad for the guy now. Maybe now's my big chance. Stand back, this could be the debut of a prodigy. Ew. Did you make that noise just now? Let me try it again. Oh, does that click? You know, I think something's stuck in the piano. Time to take a look under the hood. Huh? Look, this was stuck between the strings. It looks like some kind of switch. Someone must have thrown this into the piano. I guess present this. My shock and chagrin, all that I can see before me is a stage, a penny upon it, nothing smaller, nothing less radiant catches my eye. Sure, you're getting on in years, not much time left to make your mark, huh?
This is not how I was seeing it.
Just read. Check out the piano and add switch. Explore is available. Check out the piano and add the switch to your quote record. Okay, now I just leave. I am done with you. Lemior's dressing room. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. There's only one person I know who can munch with such venom. What are you doing here? Hello, Emma. You're looking as grumpy as ever. Oh, am I supposed to be happy? You give me the second degree in court. Prosecutor Gavin makes me look like a fool. You're talking about the bloodstain on Mr. Latou's left. My department chief had a field day with that one. Even a blind person could see the shooter wasn't blind. Funny guy, huh? But that bloodstain helped uncover the biggest mystery of all. Now we know that Mr. Latouche was really with Interpol. We wouldn't have found that without you. I suppose. Maybe that's why the chief gave me these after he was finished chewing me out. Said it was my reward. Are chocolate snackoos popular down at the precinct or something, or... I was hoping we could check out the crime scene again. Be my guest, you're not gonna find any clues in here. Though I did find something strange. Something strange? Trial! I'm at my embarrassment quota for the year, that's for sure. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? How? I mean, think about it. Now you don't have to be embarrassed about anything else all year. If only it worked that way. It just bugs me to think that little kid outsmarted me. It makes him even more suspicious now that we know he can see. He could have seen the air duct, and he could have shot that revolver. But that's not how it sounded in Lemoore's testimony. You mean her saying that she heard Detective Darian's voice at the scene? That's right. Why can't we have a normal, straightforward killing for once in a while in this country? I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Was that true what you said in court today? You know, about the case? About how everything was happening according to those song lyrics? The Guitar Serenade, you mean? I found the link, you know. Prosecutor Gavin's heart-shaped keyring was stolen. Then Lumiose flew through the air. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar caught on fire. In the end, a bullet took Mr. Latouse's life. And he went up into the sky with a guitar, well, 15 feet up at least. It is kind of hard to chalk it up to coincidence. Huh. I know, I found it. I know, and You think the same person did all of this? Don't ask me, I didn't do it. Neither did I. I couldn't fit through that air vent anyway. What? You all think I did it? Sometimes I worry about that girl. So what'd you find? It's so little I must have passed over it yesterday. I found it under the sofa. What is it? Part of some device, I think? I haven't a clue what. The bit sticking out from the end looked familiar, so I had it examined. Turns out, it's an antenna. Oh, like on a Beetle? Like on a cell phone. This device must use electronic signal of some sort. Electronic signal, you say? Not you. Sitting here, tempting me to push it. Don't, you might blow up the whole Coliseum. Some bomb, what kind of old-fashioned crime drama do you think doesn't? Juicy PI, please enlighten me. What do you think the switch does? It's on the electric laser in Prosecutor Gavin's room. So a laser to turn on a laser? Okay. Okay, what do I do? Okay, I have to present the switch. That's what I thought. Do you think this could do you think you could take a look at this? A small device. Looks like a transmitter. A transmitter? You press the switch here and it sends out a signal. No idea what it's for, though. A signal? You mean an electronic signal? What is it, Apollo? Say, Emma, you know that strange object you said you just found? Oh, this? Let me try pressing the switch. Youch! It's on fire! Emma's device is on fire! What's the big idea? Ugh. Well, we know what this is, an igniter. This part here must look like a lighter. It nearly lit me up, that's for sure. Don't look at me like that. I didn't do it on purpose. And I suppose, at least, we're getting somewhere with this case. Hey, Apollo, let's ask Emma about the switch, now that she has some first-hand experience. Not you. What are you trying to do, burn me alive? Come on, it was just a few sparks. Says you weren't the one holding it. That's enough sparks flying around here with just the two you talking. Anyway, now we know this is a remote for an igniter. Let me see that for a second. Well, this is definitely a little transmitter. The signal's weak, probably only reaches 30 feet. A transmitter, huh? Oh, what, did it interfere with the headset? Incidentally, if you look at a cross-section diagram of the stage area, let's see, 30 feet from Lamore's dressing room, that covers the backstage completely. It also looks like it would cover the stage. Kinda seems unlikely anyone would use this on stage. Guess I'd best be getting on with my investigation. We'll have to look for more clues elsewhere then. I feel better just knowing what this thing is now. I'll have to look into Igniters a bit more later. Good luck. I'd like to know a bit more about Igniters myself. Alright, that's probably done here. This update switch into the sugar clue. You also gain the form diagram. Return to the Sunshine Coliseum. I gotta drink some water for who's coming up. What? Come to laugh at the murderer? It's Darian. That old bag opens her pie hole, and wham bam, my life goes down the chute. Thanks. They won't let me work while I'm a suspect. Darian isn't the best of moods, is he? Not many people are these days, it seems. It is a crime scene, not exactly the happiest place to hang out. Then Gavin had to go rub salt in the wound. My alibi is rock solid! Rock solid! Alibi. So, about your alibi. You have to ask? The shooting happened right in the middle of the third set. That's right. The music was blaring when we heard those gunshots. And we found Mr. Latou's dead. I've got 10,000 witnesses who saw me, too. Right there on that stage. Guitar playing was something else. Thanks, little lady. See? This whole thing's a sham. I can't believe they aren't letting me work. There's no need to yell at me. It's Lamore's fault. She was the one who said she heard his voice at the moment of the crime. Man, I never even talked to that old windbag. How could she possibly identify me? They won't let you work? He won't let me work. Gavin says I gotta lie low till the suspicion is cleared. What suspicion? Think he'd be such a stick in the mud? Mr. Gavin, a stick in the mud? He may look all flashy and showy, but he's as straight as an arrow, man. Well, in the professional sense, not the other sense. Happy Pride Month. Except when he's depressed. You hear him whining the other day? Oh, you mean the thing with the mixing board? And then there was that performance just now. What was all that about? This part is off. This part is off. What is that, Second guitar. It was you, Darian. He's a perfectionist, is all. Not a bad guy, really. Well, I think the Gaviniers are the best. I have all your albums. The band's fine, too. Gavins can write a good tune, and I'll give him that. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Prosecutor Gavin around much. Oh, him? He's down at the prosecutor's office, most likely. The prosecutor's office? I've never been there, have I? The data on the victim should have come in from Interpol. Normally, I'd be down there dealing with it. Normally. Apollo, let's go check it out. I've always wanted to see the prosecutor's office. Maybe that's not such a bad idea. Right on. Say hi for me, okay? Oh, and screw you. And tell him I went into that crime scene. We'll be going now. Hey, wait, yeah? What do you really think happened? Really? You don't think I did it, right? Well, great. We're doing still a guy with some confidence. Just remember, I was whipping it up on stage when it happened, okay? Ripping! Don't get led astray by some siren song, eh? Get this one wrong and you'll be eating humble pie for a year. I'll bake it myself. Let's not talk to him anymore, alright? Detective Darian Crescent. He's one stone I'd leave unturned if I had a choice. Gavin's office. Oh, rock and roll, baby. So, this is it? The Gaviniers' head office. It's not the band's office, it's the prosecutor's office. Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing, object, whatever? Looks like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone. Oh well, guess we'll have to come back. Oh, we can hide behind that bookshelf real quiet like. That's eavesdropping. Why, we'd just be waiting quietly, so he won't notice. What if we heard something scandalous about the band? She'd make a good reporter for a gossip mag. What? A replica? So, why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, Latouche? Latouche? Look, don't talk to me about those Borginians, okay? Just get me that report, chop chop. And stop leaving mysterious objects in my office, okay? It's times like this when I start to... It's times like this when I start to miss Darian. Huh? Hiya. Tee, just thought we'd drop in. I hope you're not mad. Oh. How could I be? There's not enough tea in the world in any case. Have a seat. Prosecutor Gavin, the philanthropist. Watch and learn, Apollo. So, who have you come to see? Huh? Clavier, lead vocalist of the Gavineers. Or Prosecutor Gavin, scourge of the courtroom. What do you think he means, Apollo? I think he's giving us a choice. We can either ask him about the concert or the case. Which way to go? I can probably ask for both, but just to be safe, I'll check. Okay, the case. I can do both. Ooh, I'm gonna be in here a while. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see the paper today? Yes. I always read the TV section. Good girl. How about you, Airforehead? I read the funnies. Then you will not have seen this. Concert of Tragedy, the Prosecutor's Deadly Song? Oh, is that a new show? I haven't heard about that one. It's not a show, it's an article. News, you know? Oh, does this have anything to do with the case? Since getting back from my trial, the phone has been ringing off the hook. How's it feel to take on a man's life with a song? Have you ever hummed a man all the way to death row? Do you think you could sing one for me over the phone? It is endless, endless! Thanks to the case you made today, of course. Oh, that was all Apollo's idea. Hey! Is that a newspaper over here, too? Yes, the Borginian Daily Bugle. Go ahead, take a look. Thanks, but I can't read Borginian. Oh, that's right. Suffice to say, this is a big news over there as well. Though they didn't go far as to mention the lyrics to my song. Probably no one in Borginia could possibly believe it. It's probably seen as just a theory at this point. You know, a game theory. Their journalists didn't see the need to mention it. That makes sense. I hardly know what to think of it myself. Lemieux's testimony will probably be in the evening edition, I'd imagine. Which is why I'd have Darian step down from the investigation for now. Yeah, we ran into him moping in front of the Coliseum. Lemore was my invited guest, so it's a rather delicate situation. You understand how much I want to solve this case, quickly if possible. I really love that song. It has such a great atmosphere to it. You co-wrote it with Lemieux, if I remember correctly. That's right. It was last year. I had gone to tour Borginia's legal system, as a matter of fact. And that's when you heard Lemieux's voice? It was at a small jazz club. I wept that night. I knew I had to meet her, to talk with her. So I used my influence, which is not inconsiderable, to arrange a meeting. Wow, prosecutors really have a lot of clout. I think he's sort of a special case, Trucy. Thankfully, she liked the work I did and wrote a song right there backstage. Machi on piano and dulcet voice. And myself on a guitar that borrowed from Lumiere. And music history was made. Probably not an experience the average lawyer would ever have, like Apollo, say. It is a memory I hold dear, and the song we wrote together that night was this. It was that very guitar, and that very guitar is right over there. Oh, you mean the charred lump? Don't call it a lump. That's a piece of history. It's only browned, not really charred. No matter. I shall never sing that song again. I wouldn't have used that guitar again either, even if I could have. What happened during that song anyway? Why did this guitar suddenly catch on fire? Do you think you could show it to us? Your charred, slightly burnt guitar. I'm sure he doesn't mind. What more could happen to it? I guess examine. That was an impressive bit of pyrotechnics that did this. That's a guitar from the concert, isn't it? I thought it was one of those staff playing a gag on me. I never guessed that wasn't the end of it. I had a specialist analyze the guitar, incidentally. Oh, did you find anything out? He didn't have a lot of time, so it's still unclear, but the results he came up with were intriguing. Intriguing? How's this guitar tie into everything that went on? Sounds like something we should ask about. I guess ask about this weird thing. What's that on the plate there? Is that gum or gum? Maybe he was chewing it when the phone rang, or so he put it on the plate for later consumption, or you think a rockstar could afford a fresh you'd think a rockstar could afford a fresh stick. Don't jump to any conclusions now. That's not chewing gum. Take a closer look. Although I really shouldn't be offering, should I? What is that? It looks like a lump of plastic. Wait, that phone call. Yeah, so that's why I'm this creepy thing, object, whatever. Game's on the phone. A replica? First place, yeah, Latouze. Prosecutor Gavin does this have to do with something with Latouze, Mr. Latouze? Wait a second. You were listening to my phone call, weren't you? Who? Us? I tried to stop him, really, but he forced me to, and you were the one digging for a scandal, Miss Reporter. To tell the truth, I'm not even sure what it is. But apparently it's a model of something undercover agent Mr. Latouze was after. This lump? Would you mind telling us what you know about it? The guitar. It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lumiere. How did it end up here? She gave it to me. I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Borginia? That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity would ruin the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lumiere's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. See, prosecutors do have a lot of clout. I still think he's a special case. Such a valuable guitar. It's too bad it got burned. What was it that you were saying earlier? Something about intriguing results about an examination of the guitar? That's right. What was that all about? Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It's called the sound hole. Is it called that? I'm not gonna fact check that, but I doubt. Ah, so that's what it's called. Well, they have found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes, this, in fact. The examiner is busy with evidence for the case now, however. So he'll be checking this out once he's finished with everything else. That device looks strangely familiar. This was found in Mr. Latouz's bag. It's apparently a replica of something. A replica? It's a small lump about 1.5 inches long. We analyzed it, but there's not much to say, other than it's a lump of plastic. Perhaps it was to be used as identification or whatever. It is a replica of... You mean whatever Mr. Latouz was after? Mr. Latouz seems to be the most logical explanation. I mean, that seems to be. Well, what is it? Don't ask me, Fräulein. Oh, if you don't want to tell us, you could just say so. I've put in a request to Interpol via my contacts in Borginia, but apparently there was a block on information somewhere along the chain. Oh? There's something either Interpol or Borginia doesn't want to share. Something about this little piece of plastic. And Miss Latouz went through all that trouble to become a Lemoyne's manager. Just to come to this country to find out more about this lump? And he died for it. I've sent someone to the Colosseum to fetch Lemoyne. Perhaps she knows something about it, being Borginian. I guess present this. Has to be one of these. What is it, Apollo? That device that was found in your guitar. Take a look at this. Why? That looks like the same thing. What is it? It's an igniter. Another one? It was at the crime scene in Lemoyne's dressing room. Detective Skye found it, actually. At the scene of the crime? What could that mean, I wonder? I believe that covers everything I'm at liberty to talk to you about. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Forehead. Thanks? Why, you gave me so much information, that igniter, for instance. Oh, that, I've never met an attorney who was so forthcoming with the prosecution. It's a big help. Or perhaps you're just a tad naive. I guess I could have had it, but somehow showing it felt like the right thing. I could say the same to you, Prosecutor Gavin. Huh? Thanks for the information. About the, strange lump of plastic. The one Miss Latouz was investigating. Hey, that's right. I've been thinking, her forehead. We encounter many incidents in our lives, all of us. Not all of them simple. Especially not the ones where people are killing to make, killing to song lyrics. That is why I try to at least remain simple inside. And I keep a simple goal. To discover the truth. That's why I like to keep, relations civil, yeah? That is all. I can live with that. Mr. Prosecutor? Fräulein? Can I ask you why you sing in a band? Because I want women to turn and look when I walk down the street. That's pretty simple, too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do. Another time, perhaps. I guess we're done here. Okay. Return to the stage. Oh, it's you. You came at a good time. Hello there, Emma. What's up? Either of you know where Lemoyne is? Well, I saw her in the backstage hallway a while ago. Yeah, that's strange. What's strange? I can't find her anywhere. I was supposed to bring her to the prosecutor's office. Lemoyne's missing? It's hard to imagine her wandering off somewhere on her own. Being that she's blinded and all. Yeah, we'll help you look for her. Great, thanks. Also, I just remembered something. Just a quick little detour. Charlie! These are looking a little brown. Good morning. He leaves. Maybe you weren't giving him enough water. No, it must be stress. He's worried about the new recruit at the office. Don't blame it on me. You're watering him. It was Daddy's time to water him this week. Mr. Wright has been away on his top secret mission. It's all my fault. I'll water you soon, promise. Okay. It's for the Chivo. This place is deserted. I wonder where Lumiere went off to. I'm sure she's okay on her own. She seems resourceful. I guess, but I can't help but worry about her a little. July 9th, 4:46, in the wings. Huh, the stage is pitch dark. The power breaker must be off for this section. Great. I'll go get someone. Yipes, it was really dark out there. Dark. That's all Lumiere has when you think about it. What would it be like to live in a world of darkness? Hey, Apollo? What? Doesn't something about the stage seem a bit different to you? Like, something's changed? Changed? I can't put my finger on it, but it's bugging me. And it's bugging me too. What's she talking about? First thing. Fucking ladder. That's the ladder we used to climb up the stage tower. Not a moment I'm likely to forget anytime soon. To climb another tower again without thinking about it, you know, I'll never be able to climb a tower again, period. Oh, okay. I thought that ladder was important for... whatever. Examining the red guitar... oh, the guitar case. That case! Wasn't that open before? Huh, I guess someone closed it. Wait. Look where the case's closes. Something's sticking out. That doesn't look like an instrument. You don't think it's... Let's open it, Apollo. Oh, uh-oh. Lumiere! Lumiere! Emma, we have to get Emma! Lumiere was taken directly to the hospital. Emma ran around barking orders, making phone calls. Chusi just clung to my arm and cried. And me? I was still in shock. 2 bodies in 2 days is too many. Emma. How's Lumiere? Is she okay? You. We all owe you a big thanks, that's for sure. So, she's okay? Yes, she came to a short while ago. You found her before it was too late. That's good to hear. So, what happened? Someone attacked her. She was struck on the forehead. By who? We don't know. But they hit her on the forehead, right? That's right in front of her. How could she not see? Oh. Right. Would you like to see her now? Is that all right? She wants to thank you for saving her life. Lumiere! Mr. Attorney. You were the one who found me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me what happened. It was after I spoke with you in front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. Though, I thought it might be someone coming to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room, you were hit? I knew, that very moment, I knew that assailant was trying to kill me. No. It was lucky for me the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps. Yet I reached the stage first. Why the stage? I had overheard the maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said, for electrical work. Ah! Darkness is my ally. There was a contrabass case near the stage. that is where I hid. So the assailant couldn't see you? Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out. Wow, that sounds like a real close call. Do you have any idea who it might have been? Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word. Too bad. Yet when I consider that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am. Good point. She's sharp. Oh, and you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo. So that means it was likely an adult, and probably a man. Could it be him? But why would anyone attack you, Lemure? The detective asked me this, too. And to her, I gave the same answer I give you. I do not know. Should I, like, present something, or... Oh, present the replica. I would not have guessed that. Lumiora, I want to ask you about something. Do you know what this is? This is what? Mr. Latouche was carrying it. It's a replica of a thing he was after. He was after? You know, in his secret identity. It was as an undercover agent. So that's why, what he was doing? You mean, you know what? Yes, I know, of course. This must be. This is a Borginian cocoon. Or rather, a convincing replica thereof. Why haven't I heard of a Borginian cocoon before? Yeah, this is like the Russian eggs. Like, what are they called? Like the gilded, like the bourgeoisie or whatever. Why would he be carrying this around? Was it some kind of souvenir? I wonder. Present the replica again. Prompted. Talk to Micah about the cocoon. Okay. Talk to... Well, they call it Borginian. It must only be found in Borginia. For certain, all in Borginia know of this. It's a cocoon? So, do you get silk from it? I do not know the details, I am sorry to say. I thought she said all in Borginia knew of these. There was one fact I do know about the cocoon, though. Something all in Borginia know. What's that? The cocoons. They are not to be taken out of the country. If someone does, and is caught, they will be put to death. To death? Why? I do not know. Yet if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there is a good reason. But this is just a piece of plastic. He was carrying a replica, but looking for the real deal. That's my best guess. So that's what he was up to? Tracking down Borginian cocoon smuggling? Smuggling! It seems I was marked. Marked? Life changed me. Life changed for me with the popularity of my songs. I began to travel around the world. Ah, so you could have brought the Borginian cocoons with you. On my trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion. And Mr. Latouche was placed as an undercover agent to look into it. Undercover agent to look into it? Borginia is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside. Is that why they suspected you? But Mr. Latouche wasn't a Borginian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? There must be some reason why Borginia doesn't want those cocoons getting out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved. Huh? Like what? How could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion? Cocoon smuggling. And Miss Latouche had Lemore marked. Huh. It couldn't be her. Huh? The one other person I need to talk to. Thank you for talking to us, Lemure. It's the least I can do. Actually, I have another request. If it is within my power, I need an interpreter. Someone who speaks Borginian. Apollo? Would you come with us? If you're well enough. I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you. Where are we going? Come on, Juicy. We're about to get to the bottom of this. Oh, it just takes me there. Great. Machi, we came to talk to you about the case. Machi. Could you interpret for us, Lemioe? Yes. Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Now we know the truth. You can see, right? I was completely fooled myself. Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us? Wait, Mr. Attorney, what do you mean by secret? What do I mean by secret? I got a lot of evidence. The egg. Or a cocoon. If I'm not mistaken. You know something about this, don't you? Hey, you got a reaction, a big one. Machi, you didn't. Chusi and I are trained to see people's uncertainty. Not that we would have needed any training to see that one. Mr. Attorney, please tell me what this is all about. Lemioe, please interpret. Very well. I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you won't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution and have them look into it. He asks you, wait, do not be so hasty. Machi? Skibbity-babbada. Do you know everything? Yes, everything. Well, sort of. Have him tell us about it. Skibbity-bow. Very well. The cocoon! What is this cocoon anyway? Skibbity-bah. The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. A cure? It must cure some disease? Skibbity-babbity-bow. It's a cure. For fucking Ace Attorney. Incuritis. A cure for incuritis? God, this is some fucking Fatalium bullshit. Okay, alright. Strapping in. But if it's a cure, why keep it in Boginia like that? Just think all the lives they could save by sharing the medicine. I do not understand the reason myself. Okay, well, at least we know that it's a cure. And Miss Latouche was after the cocoon smugglers. Wait, was Machi? Machi, you want... He couldn't be a smuggler. He's so little. Well, you're only 15 and you're sort of a magician, aren't you? Well, that's true. I am sort of a magician. She said sort of. Oh, to have a copy of that security camera tape. Oh, well, Machi, are you a smuggler? Skibbity-bow. Skibbity-scabbity-bow. Dots. He won't tell me. First he plays blind, now he plays dumb? I wonder. Do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell it to someone? If Machi really did bring one into the country, was he planning on making a deal for its sale? Skibbity-babbity! I can't go home. Can't go home. Skibbity-bow! Skibbity-bee! Skibbity-scabbity-boo! I can't go home to Boginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon for Boginia is death. That's right. It's punishable by death. Skibbity-bow. About the case. What about the case? You want to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? Skibbity-babbity-bow. The meeting's over. The meeting's over. Darian? What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet? There's a call for Machi at the Boginian embassy. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked either of you. Huh? Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo? He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. Apollo! And there can only be one reason why. Why is everyone ignoring me? Oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now. It all happens tomorrow, in court. To be continued. Alright, yeah, I think I can actually finish the case today. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. Does this look good? Hey, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll finish the case up. Alright, be back soon.
Alright. I be back. Alright. Continue the next chapter? Yes. It's gonna be a long court case, but let's just try to blow through it.
Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday.
Meeting's over. Sorry. Give us 5 minutes. Call them back. Sorry, no good. Come on, piano, bye. Yada 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 da 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 da. What am I doing?
I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice.
Bang.
What was that?
He is heard but unseen.
Who's that talking?
I had a feeling.
Valiant Gramarye! I exclaimed as he walked through the door normally. Aren't you the witness today? Aren't you the witness today? Are you, Uncle Valent?
A preposterous proposition. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day.
Oh, with vanishing magic?
Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand Gramarye glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth.
Glamour?
A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to put so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell!
He left. Normally. I'm normal. And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. So he was talking about what he saw at the concert. Lemiore's disappearing act, and Prosecutor's Gavin exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir. Yeah? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night, watching cartoon dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Dick. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son? Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the... Does he have incuriditis, I'm guessing? There's an article about it in the newspaper, if you care to read about it yourself. Incuriditis? Where have I heard that before? I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies, okay? Try not to lose the page with the funnies, okay?
My apologies for the delay.
Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say that name again?
Machi Tobaye? Or a suspect fortissimo?
Right, it's his trial in any case.
The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No, well, yes. It's just I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Incuritis, was it? The article said that there's no known cure.
Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
Indeed. We left off on quite the juncture yesterday.
This is a new chapter, so I'm gonna actually, I won't. We already flashed back to this, but it's not weird because this is a new chapter. Registered number, Roman Latouche.
Thanks for looking into that.
No problem at all. I'll be heading out. Ba-ba-da.
We're speaking Borginian. It was him, I'm sure.
It was him.
It was him, it was him, it was him.
What?
God, if we flash back to Latouche again, though, I will be upset.
Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darian would guest star in the season cliffhanger?
As a suspect.
I asked the prosecution to look into the matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darian Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after the investigation, I found no cause to alter our case or file new charges.
And your reason is?
Weren't you aware, Forehead?
He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. With the power of the Nintendo 2DS, the only performers appearing were something, along with the drummer, bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the 3rd set. Lemieux and the defendant, Machi Tobai, had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right?
I sure did.
Furthermore, Lemieux herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say, she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Miss Latouche and Detective Crescent talking.
But that's impossible! Detective Crescent was...
Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less.
Voila! A perfect alibi! Does the defense have anything to add to this?
It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. So there's something here that doesn't quite add up.
It appears the defense has no objection. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means that Lemieux was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well, of course. If we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections...
Uh-oh, Apollo. If he declares a verdict now... the prosecutor's Gavin case is airtight. Lemieux might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? Skibbity-bit. About the case... Skibbity-babbidoo.
Meeting's over. Skibbity-bow.
Darian. Machi was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath.
Very well, the court finds the defendant, what was his name again?
Your Honor.
No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise or Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness.
Exactly who do you need to hear from?
A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English, Japanese. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls Defendant Machi Tobaye to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English. Japanese.
We'll use an interpreter.
An interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere.
I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you and, where's the toilet? The defense would like to request Lemieux as the interpreter.
Lemieux? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual.
Bravo, Forehead. Judge, prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lemieux lies, I'll be able to tell. Even with my limited knowledge of the language, should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lemieux to the witness stand.
I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lemieux. Yes. He says Machi Tobaye, the defendant.
Oh, it's certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really need an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
Oh, what do I want to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet. Apollo, aren't you going to ask him about what he was going to tell us yesterday? How can I if he doesn't know what he was saying? If I don't know what he was saying. Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lemieux.
Just now, Machi said that there's something of which he wishes to testify. Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please. The suspense is killing me. What? What?
Well, Lemieux?
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise. Wahoo! Victory, Apollo! Wahoo victory! This is sounding too good to believe. I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Machi, please testify to the court.
Very well. He says the word of Miss Latu's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English. He does not understand them. That's a decent defense.
Oh, I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lemieux to know the meaning of that song. Lemieux, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail. And he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lemieux might be protecting the witness. Duh.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something hidden in that testimony, I know it. I just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday. It'll work today. Fourth statement. Okay. And say let's focus on the...
Activate. Oh, on the fourth statement, not the third.
We can see through the glasses.
Because the lyrics are in English.
Gotcha!
He's giving that side eye.
Machi, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamora said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, Japanese, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English, Japanese. He learned the name for this language, that is all. What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Borginian Daily Bungle. You can buy it in the country these days, you know? They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they're already quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying.
Oh, I gotta go for a sec. Sorry. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I just had to go call my dad real quick. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Tell your parents you love them. Shirley's lying. This news. Wow, do I have like... Okay, I have 2 newspapers. I thought I was gonna be like, oh, do I have 3 newspapers? Oh, be back. Blah, 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 blah. I have here a Burgundian newspaper. The Burgundian Daily Bungle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in the Burgundian newspaper.
Skibbity-bitty-bitty-bitty-bitty-bitty-bitty, Scatman!
What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes.
Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper, and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in the courtroom. In English, no less.
The witness will explain herself, or himself, or, you know, whatever pronouns you prefer. Translates.
Machi says, he says,
Yes?
it is true I read the newspaper. But this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember. You remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
What? Oh, is this true, Lamior?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself.
Then it looks like your forehead's been jumping to conclusions again.
It seems so, yes.
No. I was onto something, I know it. Can't let this chance slip away.
Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you going to do, Apollo? If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I better have an angle of attack. Or else... my bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well, witness.
I understand.
Okay. Oh. I didn't mean to do that.
Tummy ache or no, Apollo tummy hotty.
Okay. Perceive.
Gotcha!
She gulping. Lemiore, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me? Uncertain?
Yes. You swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained.
I see. There is little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lemiore, are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lemiore, you're protecting... I mean... Oh wow, he's 14? Yeah, it is Machi, that's right. I just making sure. Lemiore, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lemiore lying on your behalf.
If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to.
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
What?
First he can see and now he can talk. And you, did you not know about this, Lemuel?
No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did not shooting. So, you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct?
Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in dressing room, behind desk. Manager, he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there was voice. Voice? Or voices? Was it you and Emma and Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouze had already been shot. And then we came to the door. Panel high up, I take off, run away, run away.
So it was you who escaped through the air vent. As the prosecution was upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
No, he's clearly denied that he did it. I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor.
The victim has already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? There's nothing else I can get him to testify? Wait, no, of course there is.
The cocoon! Cocoon! Skibidi bobbidi bobbida 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 bow.
I'm just gonna take this moment to like not talk, actually. That was nice. That cocoon has to have something to do with it. Machi, please, tell us the truth for your own sake. No, no more speak. No, not any of you.
So much for your precious truster, Forehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
It doesn't seem that defense and the defendant. It seems that the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
Apollo, Eustace.
That's Justice, but I'll know how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe, I know shooting.
Machi claims that Mr. Latouze was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap, and he walked right into it? Suddenly, I hear revolver. Close, very close. Then I hear voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouze already dead, and then you heard the shots?
If that's true. So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots? And you escaped through the air vent? I know.
Huh?
What do you know? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went both to the stage and the backstage area? Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo. Huh? Yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that? Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician. Magician? Don't look at me. A magician, huh? Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouze. Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots. That's one thing to go over well in court, not. That's not going to go well in court. Something words. I don't feel like rereading that. Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to, I don't know about that. That's what Daddy always told me. I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So, what do we do? You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking, no. Well, it was worth a shot. That cocoon. Skibidi-bow. Scabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dow. Of course, he's scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach. That's the spirit, Apollo, so what's your plan? If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. Someone else? I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Right.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with your defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Oh, very well. So, will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame, and here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamior.
Lamior?
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamior's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Lamior was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lamior dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What?
I've heard no such report. Prosecutor Gavin? Why would anyone be out to kill Lamior? Can you think of a reason?
Well...
Think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
You don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouze. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believed that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. So, am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamior's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover? Exactly.
Oh, if Lamior was attacked, this has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamior's testimony once more.
Man, we just cannot get rid of her. Like, I don't like her. Like, I'm fine with her as a character, but man, this trial is just her. Lamior, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And the voice belonged to Darien Crescent, yes? That is correct. At which point, I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed, and was found to be quite soundproof.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. There it is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. Okay. I am sorry, I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way? Yet, everything I have said here is the truth. And it's my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Lamore was attacked because of this testimony. What juicy. Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you're pretty cool. Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness.
Darian Crescent. I did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him. Because the window at the scene was closed. Is that why? Of course. Apollo, if you keep asking the same question as yesterday, we won't get anywhere. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try? What were they talking about? Lemuel, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase? You remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. The shooter, then. Darian Crescent.
Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch now.
Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latouche?
I thought it quite strange myself afterwards. Oh, this was in the middle of the magic trick is when you saw this, when you're going from one place to the other.
Oh, it is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, could you shed some light on this?
I mean, sure, I'll be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony? Maybe, Apollo? When prompted, you'll gain a new present the remote trigger. Yeah, this is the switch they were talking about.
Objection!
Press the switch? There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights. Sure, there wasn't a switch at that scene. But it just so happens, I have a switch right here.
That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the court was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
On the stage? Are you claiming that the voice Lemuel heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch?
It's a possibility.
If I had, I'd like to call all that an impossibility.
Why?
It's only necessary for me to remind you, the court, of the layout of the concert form. The stage is quite far from Lemuel's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard.
The detective voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So,
So too have Forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry. But we wouldn't have needed to shout, but he wouldn't. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from the dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on the stage from the dressing room. EFP, I don't even need to look this up. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this? Why's that?
What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking, or,
This is a type of transmitter, a communication device.
Communications device? What?
Something. Everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, actually. They are for talking between band members. We all had one.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
True, but wait.
Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems,
The range is quite limited.
Lamia said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram at the concert forum. Ah, exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. But the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That can't be! So when Lumiore heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage?
You're claiming that this is the switch in question? Why'd it have to be on the stage at that time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact. Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch? Well, I guess we don't.
Oh, an unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it.
Ugh. I was quite sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch anyway? We don't even know the basics fact.
Wait a second, I've already answered this. And if you follow that chain of logic, it's an incredible conclusion. It ends up in the proof that completely changes the case. Is that Apollo? Apollo. We know about the switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah? Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning the switch...
Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Justice.
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what the switch is.
Huh? Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see evidence of the link.
It could be a couple things. The switch goes to this, but it could also be pointing to the guitar. So I'm going to Google. Headset, present the igniter when prompted. Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
That's what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually. You aren't saying the switch is a remote. I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Don't lean back and get closer to me. Look, I'll show you.
Oh, Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected.
If my whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah, exactly. That night on the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. With the power of the 2DS, your guitar caught on fire.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right, he got it in Borginia from Lemore. And he said the sound was amazing before it burned. Of course, now it just kind of smokes. The better the guitar, the better it burns. Forehead? Yeah. Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lemure, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire. I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed, and the guitar caught on fire.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Really? It seems pretty simple to me. Forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
His simple story simply makes no sense. Think, that night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar got fired during the second set. That's right, of course. The guitar caught fire during the second set with the power of the 2DS. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See, the story makes no sense. Are you sure about that?
What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far.
The premise is this, specifically, or...?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act. What's this? But Detective Emma Sky heard the shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act. Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in the dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Say with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony, namely, that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane! Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What?
Order! But that goes against the evidence!
What does, Your Honor?
This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of the song, yes!
Hey, that's right, look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire. You're thinking about it the wrong way, huh? Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it.
Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason.
Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. You're saying the order was reversed on purpose?
Reversed? Prosecutor Gavin!
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet after our forehead had raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire. Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The criminal followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he'd follow the lyrics the whole way.
Order! Order, order, order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic, for it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction, Forehead. I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lemore have heard a voice through it? Oh. I know that you would like to divert your attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lemure's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo? Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch? And near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be a coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime,
that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lemure heard the voice?
Oh, a key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove, and one thing only. Lemure heard a voice, and she heard it during the second set. Think how Lemure was able to hear the voice. Oh, the window is open. Yeah, I'll take a penalty if this is wrong. I don't need to check this. The window is open. Obviously, the window is open. It had to be for her to hear the voice.
News bulletin her forehead. The horse is dead. Stop beating it for all our sakes.
The window was closed. This is a hard fact reported by the investigation team. But...
Oh, you have evidence to the contrary, perhaps?
Well, no, but...
Then do be quiet, I'm tired of the charade.
Oh, so I was wrong. Oh, was she in the vents? Somewhere else. I'm glad I didn't get a penalty. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it. It had to have been open. Had to be open, either meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through the window.
Ah, it's good to hear you're making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Boginian too.
Not being able to speak our language, I'm guessing, is the jab there. As I was saying, Lemure could not hear the voice through the window. So there could only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What?
You do amuse me so. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back in speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Forehead? Lemure clearly stated that she heard the voice through the small window. And there's only one small window at the scene. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? There is?
I know that look. He wants to ask him. Very well. You claim Lemure heard the voice from another location? Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
Is it the vent?
Does this look like a small window to you, Mr. Justice?
The state of modern society can be read from numerous objects and artifacts, and in a sense, anything can be a window in our society.
I didn't ask to point out a window of society. I want a window of the crimes. Oh, not that. Boo. So here. She was in the vents. I just hit the wrong vent. This is where Lemio heard the voice from.
But that's no small window, that's the air vent.
The other thing also counted, but whatever. What did she tell us? She said she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. No, you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lemio was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice? That's the only logical explanation, yes. Logical? I do not think this is a word means what you think it means, your forehead. Okay, what about it isn't logical? It hardly merits saying. Why would Lemio be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lemio? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit, it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter. Ugh! The problem here is words. Lemio, this small window through which you heard the voice. Was it up high on the ceiling of the room? Not low on the wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What?
Order! Order! A will of order! Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court? Are you in fact saying that you're up in the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact, I was. I am sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yes, well, why the heck were you up there?
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure, I can't.
May I remind you that this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please.
Well, it looks like I'm on the right track. It's the magic trick, right? Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard that there was a small window there before. I was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So did this happen during the second set?
I did not witness the crime. You must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, your forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Oh, very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo? I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above the ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. Okay. Present. Lemio, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes. It's all right here on this video. By the power of the Nintendo 2DS. I'm not gonna read this. I'm just gonna let it play. Enjoy the 2DS, guys. Well, the DS. The 2DS is something else. Yeah. I am curious where the heck the trap door on this platform is, considering it's on a scissor lift. I do see the trap door there on that platform, though. Oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck. Yeah, I don't know where the trap door was on that thing. It's a scissor lift. Everyone would be able to see you going through that platform. As we can see, Lemieux was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Oh! Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lemieux is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleporting. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view, and during that time, she moved to the back of the forum. Apollo! What, Juicy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer, and I'm not supposed to be nice.
This is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast.
Ugh.
Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha!
He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace her route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage to the backstage to the rear forum.
Oh! Oh!
Recall Lemieux's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A performance description of this route above the ceiling?
Lemieux knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me everything. Or told me something. I know of opening events. I can leave stage and backstage and...
He said that?
Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew about the vanishing act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't the magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal the details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know. Which is why he bound Lamore to secrecy. Well, Lemieux? I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying that you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that... But... I'm still a little confused, actually.
Why's that, Your Honor?
As I said before, by the power of the Nintendo DS, there was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared.
Yeah, she had to hustle.
20 seconds, tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
What thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lemieux was able to teleport like she did. I'm really curious. I really want to know, man. Come on. I mean, I'm throwing you your... And if you don't, I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
Ugh. Why do I get picked on? It's Lamore who isn't going along with the program here. As I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
And then you'll just have to tell us what you can. You'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job writing the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please. Right. I feel like a student before finals. Good luck, Apollo.
So you want me to figure it out, but you won't just tell me. I feel like we're past the point of you keeping it a secret. I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There was an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. Okay, so you fully got off the platform. That makes more sense. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
Oh, 2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
That's just my curiosity. Take it away.
So was the magician, like, disguised as her, and that's why he was running around the way he was?
Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamore is saying and what we can see plainly in the video. I figured it out already. I'm a magician, after all. Well, tell me. Not a chance. I want to be difficult. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on. Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here.
It is a little annoying that people have answers and they won't freaking tell me. Press on the fourth statement. This is gonna be all of what the last case is, because I'm pretty sure the last case is has a bunch of magicians. Press.
2 minutes. Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running. Running? It can be cramped, dark tunnel, and that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling? Mr. Tunney, have you forgotten? A dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. That's true, but,
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes. Though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Lamiora disappears on the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How? If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in the video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us? Something that can explain the discrepancy before the video and her testimony?
Ugh. Evidence explaining the discrepancy?
Present evidence. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony. The brooch. Lamiore, do you happen to remember this brooch?
Oh, the brooch! We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor.
And you bring this up now, why? I thought we'd already determined when that was dropped.
So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Oh, does she not have it when she reappears? I didn't notice that, actually. By the power of the Nintendo DS. Here you are. You can see she's wearing the brooch.
Oh, sure she is.
Let's look a bit later. I'm so glad we're skipping the video. Yeah, she's not wearing it now. I am not detail-oriented.
What? The brooch! It's gone!
What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lamore we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lamore we see after are two different people.
What?
The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamiore, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage at the very moment you witnessed the crime?
Yes, I think I did.
Order! Prosecutor Gavin!
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case here, Judge. I, of course, knew about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So, I was right. There was a switch. There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamiore was replaced.
While we're on subject, Just who was this replacement, Lemuel?
Why, the man behind the illusion, Valiant Gramarye. It was Gramarye? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing. Yes? The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. That's right. But this fake Lemuel is still singing. And she's pretty good.
That's true!
Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They were just playing a recording.
The Gaviniers aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fräulein.
Oh, you mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lemuel?
Very well.
Yes, do tell and add it to your testimony.
I had to keep singing while I moved. I guess just press. You were singing? Yes, Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage? Why, it shouldn't matter where I sing. When everywhere I go is the same darkness.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right. Wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads after all. That is right. Are you sure? You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state? I know what he means. The old speaker, Apollo. The speaker? The speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. From out on the stage, I've already read this.
Satisfied? The dressing room was fitted with a large speaker, playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually.
So Lemuel singing in the ceiling. Sounded like Lemuel singing over the speaker?
Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by her voice.
Lemuel, I have just remembered something.
Do tell!
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped? Thankfully, it was at the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Forehead! That mixing board I lent you, where is it?
The mixing, huh? That machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks. Oh, this, I had completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. By the power of the Nintendo DS. Okay, and I guess sometime in that... I guess you were never on stage, because you never had a moment to... I don't know. The song does stop there.
It does? I must have missed it.
Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. You mean read, but... When you stole away the keys, my heart held onto so tight. Pleasure, but a fleeting... Okay, so... I was supposed to be like pleasure, pleasure.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of a terrible mistake.
The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lemuel's ballad.
If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
which means the Darien Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turn around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamore's testimony.
Yes, is there a problem with this?
Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say. What if she's lying to protect the defendant? But you have no proof! All I'm saying is that the truth is yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Darien Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case.
As a suspect, to be frank. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. And I'm ready to catch him. Darien Crescent, get ready for justice.
This is a good time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well. Court is adjourned for 15-minute recess.
And that's where I'm ending the stream. Okay. Yeah, save. Yeah, next stream we can finish. That took longer than I thought. We're almost at 3 hours. Hopefully Chula's still streaming. Yeah, she is. /raid. Don't suppose someone wants to pop in real quick? Someone all by my won't, so I'm waiting Chula. No? Okay. Chula. FM. Alright. We go get the Chula. Bye-bye. Good stream.